HH Designs. Just wanted to show you the next part of our project. All the drywall has been hung. We used moisture resistant drywall as recommended for your bathrooms, just so you don't get any mildew or mold or anything like that, and you know, the steam from the shower doesn't really affect it. Our framing is done. It's all level. We get the window in there. Now I'm working on the pan liner. I just want to show you the way I do the pan liner. I got my blocks right on the side of it. You could use 2x4s, 2x6s, 2x8s, whatever you want to use. Really, it's there so that when you do your mud job and it comes up to, you know, 3 to 4 inches, probably like 3 inches on the sides, you want to make sure that if somebody steps on that side that it doesn't break off into the wall cavity. That's why you have that there. It does not have to be a 2x8, so that really does not matter. So as long as those blocks are higher than your mud job, then you'll be fine. I started my pan liner. I used staples to attach it to the studs, and now I'm going to be installing my drain. So the first thing I'll do is I'll lift this up so I can get some silicone in there. Let's see if I can. So there's my screws. I'm gonna get a nice fat bead of silicone. Fat bead of silicone all around this rim. It's not a pageant here. It doesn't have to look too pretty. I also put a bead of silicone down in here just to fix the drain in a little more. I have to put a couple screws over here to level it out. It's important to do that now because if you do it later, it's going to be very difficult with all the with all the mortar that you're going to put there, and obviously your tile. And you want that drain to be level on the tile so there's no lippage on that. So I used the 2 screws to pull it down. I ran the test by, you know, pouring some water into there to make sure there's no leakage in my P-trap. And then I siliconed all around it, like nice fat bead of silicone around that, just so that can dry up and really fix that in there. And I know I'm not going to have any issues with any movement there. So now that that's in, we're going to stretch out the corners. You want to make sure that the corners are nice and tight all around. There's some tight here too. See, you want to push it all the way in there. And then we're going to locate our bolts. Get a knife. So you see, if you push on it, you can see the head. Just make a little X cut. Well, sometimes you can just get away with this. Just make a small incision. And it pops right through. On to the next one. There we go. Lucky number 3. Okay, and the last one. I saw people online doing a little differently, where they will take the bolts out and then look for the holes, and that just seems like a pain in the butt. So if I put a fat bead of caulking there, I know, with silicone, I know that those cuts are fine. Now I'm gonna put my flange on top of that. I'm gonna make a little cut. There's an X here. A little more. Oops. these bolts out a little more. Hey, if it wasn't hard, everybody would be doing it, right? It's not that hard. There she goes. I don't really bother cutting out the pan liner as a circle because who cares? I mean that's in there. It's pointing down. We don't really care about that. So I'm gonna take my pliers and I'm gonna tighten these, and then I'm gonna finish stapling my pan liner in here and finish up folding these corners, and I'll show you guys what that looks like when it's done. All right, so my pan liner is in. Get the curb in, wraps all the way around, comes out to here. I'll cut that off later when it comes out all the way there. So do remember that this still gets wrapped in a 1/2 inch cement board, the curb, and on this side, probably about 1 inch. Let me see what that's gonna be. We're looking about 2 inches, 3 inches, that this is still gonna get wrapped on this side. So, you know, you're still gonna be putting holes into this pan liner, but that's why we're waterproofing the mud job that we're gonna do. So, technically, this is a backup for the waterproofing that we're gonna do on the top of the mud job. And we'll use Red Guard, and we're gonna use 3 coats of Red Guard on the pan. I usually do 2 coats on the walls. So that'll be our next step. The way I do my mud job, I'll show you guys later. But I use a laser. I'll put my laser there and just work around the perimeter. Get the perimeter nice and straight, because once you have your perimeter straight, your tile just goes up so much easier, and everything else goes off of that, and you have nice straight cuts and just looks clean. So I'll get about 1 foot, maybe 8 inches around the perimeter set, and then you start playing with the inside funnel part of it that slopes down, and you know, and then you work your way out. So it probably takes about 40 minutes for me to do that, just because I do take my time with it, and I'll show you guys what that looks like later. And I try to do that at the end of the week, like today is Friday, because I like to use more water in my mix, just because I have a better experience with working with it. So I want to give a couple days for all the evaporation to come out, all the moisture to come out of the mortar, for me to start waterproofing this on Monday. So I'll show you guys later. This is your pan liner. Nothing to it. Thank you.